What's going on, everybody? Jeremy with Detroit Tech. We're talking audio today. Specifically, we're looking at a tool that, in theory, will allow you to sound way better when talking to your friends in Discord, streaming, podcasting, or whatever else it is that you do that requires a microphone. Let's dive into the Blue Spark Blackout Edition. Currently, I'm recording audio using a Deity S-Mic 2 into a Sound Devices Mix Pre 3. Which has then been edited in Pro Tools to be cleaner, get rid of extraneous noise, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna switch to the Blue Spark, recorded in Pro Tools, but at the same 24-bit 96 kilohertz, but without any editing, so you can kind of get an idea of its characteristics. I will have the high pass filter switched on. Ready? Go. This is the Blue Spark audio until I say differently. Now, I'll admit I'm a little biased. I've always had a crush on Blue mics since I saw my first one at Guitar Center some 20 years ago or something, the Blue Bottle. Lucky for me, lots of technology has trickled down into something way more affordable. I got the Spark for basically $200. Not exactly eye-watering $4,000 you'll find the Bottle for. Much better. Packaging here is great. The mic is in this cool wooden box. I like it a lot, though it is a little bit rough around the edges. I'm hoping the quality of the boxes kind of goes up with the price of the mics. It might seem a little bit odd to people that it comes in a wooden box. I mean, you're just gonna like put it on an arm and it sits on your desk and just leave it there, right? Well, Blue was originally a pro audio company, meaning, they still are, but meaning they produced microphones for recording music in a studio. And microphones in a studio do not get put on a stand and sit there. They get put away for safekeeping between recordings. Plus, it looks really cool as set dressing. Now, I got the blackout version because, look at it. It's a combination of matte black and black chrome with the black grill. And I'm in the process of redoing this whole desk setup, and I'm gonna be getting a matte black desktop, so it's gonna match really, really well. One thing that was a little bit odd is that the mic wasn't fully screwed in together. Not a huge issue. I just kind of screwed the bottom and top piece together, but a little bit weird. It's nice feeling, relatively heavy, especially for its size. It's all metal construction. The shock mount that comes with it here is pretty hefty too. Again, metal construction. And it comes with an adapter to make sure you can connect it to whatever boom arm mic stand or whatever you need to. And at least in my opinion, the whole package just looks freaking awesome. I got the Blue Compass boom arm that you can see right here as well. I'm basically a sucker for just matching brands. One negative here is there's still some give while it's mounted. You can listen. So it rocks back and forth and creates kind of unpleasant noises for people on the other end. And it kind of defeats part of the purpose of the shock mount too, though it does get rid of the floor noise rumble really, really well. The mic has, as I mentioned before, a high pass filter to get rid of some low end mud and a 20 dB pad. That basically just cuts 20 decibels if it's too loud. So if your interface isn't super accessible, it's an extremely useful thing to have. Oh, and it is an XLR only mic, so you need some sort of interface to make it work with your computer. I'm using the Scarlett 2i4 by Focusrite on a daily basis, so I'm covered there. Just make sure you understand that if you're using a USB mic, upgrading to this mic will not just cost the $200 of the mic, 200-ish, I guess. It's the interface too. So again, keep that in mind. Now, I've been using the Rode NT USB for a while. We even did a video about that, which you can check out over here. It's a really good mic, but if it's the case that it's a really good mic, why did I want to get the Spark? Cause it looks cool. That's definitely part of it. Yeah, I love the look of Blue mics, especially in the shock mount. But I'm at the point right now where I'm really just fine-tuning everything in my setup. That's really why. I've added stuff to my audio signal chain to just make switching between headphones and speakers just a little bit easier. And I really just wanted a bit more performance out of my mic. So now that you've been listening to it in a while, how do you like it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, this is unedited in Pro Tools. Now, I used this a bit before recording myself and really listening to it. For myself, Corey and I have been playing a lot of Warzone. I asked him how the mic sounded. He actually said it sounded a lot better. And again, this is compared to the Rode NT USB, which I paid about $180 for, which is really only $20 less. But for $20, the person I talked to the most online says it's a big improvement. So that's good. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty of the sound, a couple of quick things to keep in mind. This is a condenser mic. So aside from an interface, it requires 48 volt phantom power to run. It's also a cardioid polar pattern. This means it will pick up sound in front of it and starts rejecting sound off axis, like to the sides and behind. So this is the sound in the front of the microphone. This is the sound at 90 degrees of the microphone. This is the sound at 180 degrees. This is the sound at the other 90 degrees. And this is the sound at the front again. And then here's kind of a quick typing test for you to get an idea of the rejection. This is me on the Blue Spark microphone, typing like a normal person with the microphone about 18 inches from Kale Speed silver switches and 3 inches from my mouth. Now, it's not perfect, but I may have been typing a little bit hard. And if you're using this for streaming, like a game, you're not gonna be sitting there just hammering away at the keyboard. It's gonna be quieter and in the background. Okay, so let's get into a couple quick sound tests here for comparison. This is a test of the Rode NT USB and the Blue Spark microphone. The Blue Spark has the high pass filter turned off. Both are being recorded at 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. The Spark is running through the Scarlett 2i4 into Pro Tools, and the Rode is being recorded via USB in Audacity. They are approximately 5 inches from my mouth. This is a test of the Rode NT USB and the Blue Spark microphone. The Blue Spark has the high pass filter turned off. Both are being recorded at 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. The Spark is running through the Scarlett 2i4 into Pro Tools, and the Rode is being recorded via USB in Audacity. They are approximately 5 inches from my mouth. This is a test of the Rode NT USB and the Blue Spark microphone. Both are being recorded at 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. The Spark is running through the Scarlett 2i4 into Pro Tools, and the Rode is being recorded via USB in Audacity. They are both being held about 5 inches away from me. This is a test of the Rode NT USB and the Blue Spark microphone. Both are being recorded at 24-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. The Spark is running through the Scarlett 2i4 into Pro Tools, and the Rode is being recorded via USB in Audacity. They are both being held about 5 inches away from me. So after listening to these, there's a couple of things I noticed. So compared to the Rode, the Spark has actually quite a bit more low end, especially without the high pass filter engaged. Once the filter was engaged, I actually really like the sound. It's nice and clear, a little bit more low end added than the Rode, but still not like muddy sounding. Has good presence, and I feel like it works really well with my voice, and that's without any editing for something like a podcast or a video or whatever. I think I could make it sound even a little bit more flattering if I give it some time in Pro Tools. And there we go. Let me know what you think kind of about this new sounding one. It's going to be edited throughout the rest of this video. Self noise is essentially nil, which is really good. It's not going to be a noisy mic when you're not speaking unless you have like the gain totally cranked, but you really shouldn't need it cranked to get a good sound out of it anyway. So I really got to tell you, I'm definitely keeping this mic and retiring the old Rode NT USB. Should you really get rid of your current mic just for this? Well, as usual, just kind of depends. If you already have an interface that can provide phantom power, I'd say go for it. I think it's a good upgrade for most mics you may have. We'll say assuming that's kind of going to be on the lower end of the spectrum underneath the $200 mark. If you like how it looks and don't mind spending $200 just, for that, hey, cool. I'm not your mom. Here's where I think you really shouldn't buy the mic. If you're like a streamer and choosing between upgrading your computer and then, or upgrading the mic, go with the computer. If you already have something like, let's say a Blue Yeti or the Rode NT USB, unless you're like doing what I'm doing and min-maxing your entire setup, honestly, I would just say don't bother. They all sound very good, and unless your audience pays attention to the tiniest little audio detail, you'll really be fine. A decent USB mic like those will suffice for your stream career until you get huge. And at that point, you can spend however many thousands of dollars on your mic, and that's totally cool. But if you're looking for a solid upgrade from, kind of a really low end mic and have the money to buy the mic and the interface, or maybe already have the interface again, this is a great mic. And for me, punches way above its weight class at that $200 mark. And that's always a good thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. If this video was helpful, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Let us know in the comments below what mic you use while you're gaming, and we'll catch you in the next one.